Hello. So this week we discussed delayed discounting. We had some really good discussions. The first thing I thought about was one of my companies that I work for has a point system in place where you can earn points for doing things like submitting your session notes on time, writing reports, just getting good feedback, whatever the case is. And then as you accumulate those points, you can use it for a variety of gift cards. So 100 points equates to $10 in gift cards, and they have like over like 50 different gift cards like Delta, Amazon, Uber Eats, all that good stuff. So as I'm accumulating points, I always have the option to cash out, once I get to the $10. Or if I decide I want to wait for, if I accumulate 500 points, then I get $50, right? So there's times where I cash out sooner, but I find myself usually delaying that cash out process until I'm at like 500 points. And I know that we talked about like different life factors and things that play a role into the decision to delay discount. So I would say back when I was an RBT, I probably would be cashing out every time I hit that $10 because that's the minimum you need to cash out, because I was living paycheck to paycheck as an RBT. So I needed my Uber Eats, gift card, or I needed that Amazon gift card. And there was a higher value on that reinforcer at the time versus now I'm not living paycheck to paycheck. So me cashing out for $10 doesn't necessarily seem worth it at this time. And I would rather wait for that higher, reinforcer, which is like the $50 Delta gift card. You also mentioned, you mentioned matching law, and I thought about matching law, but then when you said effort discounting, so I kind of think it's a little bit of both as well. So the process for, going into the platform, cashing out, it sends me an email, and I have to copy and paste the code into my, app, so Amazon app. And like that process is kind of annoying and tedious, I would say. So sometimes I'm like, man, if I cash out now only for $10, when I accumulate another $10, I'm gonna have to cash out again and then again, versus just waiting till I'm at 500 and cashing out that one time. So I guess like it could be matching law because I have two choices: cash out now for less or cash out later for more. And the choice of cashing out later for more for me is more a higher value reinforcer, because I'm getting more money, but then also it's less effort. But I guess that's more so effort discounting as well. So I guess it could fall in that category as well. So that's one thing I was thinking about. And then I know we also discussed the possibility of a delayed discounting setup occurring and then not ever getting access to that reinforcer. So a really bad situation actually happened at my primary job. So we had something called RBT Bucks, which is basically a point system, right? So you can earn it for covering shifts or cleaning up the center, whatever the case is. So RBTs were constantly earning points over time, and then they were able to cash out, similar to my other job, for gift cards. The only thing, it wasn't as advertised as it kind of needed to be, so a lot of RBTs weren't really aware of it. So back in August last year, I kind of heard from the leadership team saying, hey, like at some point they may do away with RBT Bucks. So as I kind of heard that, even though I wasn't supposed to prepare my team, I kind of did because I thought it would be messed up for them to not cash out. So I subliminally was like, hey guys, I just kind of heard that, at some point they may be going away with RBT Bucks. So I would highly suggest if you have any accumulated, go ahead and cash out. So I had some many RBTs cash out. Some had like, almost like $50, $100 worth of things to cash out. So I'm like, yeah, let's cash them out. Several months passed. Every team in the company wasn't aware of this. So I did my team a service by letting them know, but there were still some RBTs on my team who didn't cash out. So one day our leadership team randomly was like, hey, anyone who's not cashed out by end of the day tomorrow is going to be, we're moving them over to a new system and they're not going to be able to cash out anymore. So the new system, they're not able to accumulate money. It's just like swag points. Like it's less reinforcing than the money. Let's say that. So when we got this notice, we weren't supposed to tell our teams, but a lot of clinical directors did tell their teams. So they started to see a bunch of cash outs happening that same day. So leadership came back and said, hey, the plan was tomorrow end of day we cut the system off. Actually, we're cutting it off today. So if you're not cashed out right this second, you're not getting your bucks. And it was an uproar. Like it was pretty bad. So there's obviously a lot of other things that kind of contribute to that issue. But as you see, it's like the delayed reinforcer is not always available. So then that also may contribute to someone's decision to just cash out immediately, or get the smaller reinforcer now, or the less valuable reinforcer now. Because in this situation, one of the RBTs had like 500 RBT bucks. And so that would have equated to like almost like $150. So that was pretty discouraging. But in the example that you provided, the first example about either the $1,000 in 2 weeks or $2,000 at the end of the year, or 750 right now, I don't know. It just depends on where I am in my life. I know you made the example of um, of investing. I'm not really an investor. Like, I have my savings and like my IRA or whatever, all that stuff. But like, I don't see myself investing any of that money. Like, whether it was a 750, the 1,000, or 2,000, knowing me, I probably would just pay off a credit card, pay towards a credit card, and like that's how I use the money. So I think that's also like a mindset thing as well. Like, yes, realistically, investing 750 now is going to be way better for anybody, but also as someone who doesn't invest, it's like, what are you going to use that money for? So for me, paying 750 right now on a credit card, if the due date is tomorrow, is going to be more reinforcing than waiting 2 weeks. The due date is passed, I don't have the 750, right? $2,000 in a year is just not worth it. It's like, and then also you have to ask, like, is this money going to be taxed? Like, there's just so many factors. But I do agree with just getting the 750 now. It's my money and I want it now. So that's just how I would have went about that.